Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Flow of Substance. I am Earl J. Cool with my co-host Dave Ballmain. Dave, make your introductions, fam.
What up, what up, what up? This is Flow of Substance. We're about to bring it to you in abundance. I'm Dave Ballmain, and we out here about to really give you some real game.
Episode 13, by the way. And what is that you say, my man?
Oh, yeah. This about to come in the flow and abundance, man. This is Flow of Substance right here for sure.
Period. So we got a lot of news, a lot of things been going on in the world. We've been going for a while, letting things brew and letting stories develop and time get passed by. We grown men, so we got life to live and things to do. But as has been going on for our first step of the agenda, I would like to go to maybe an artist that's a little bit for our generation, millennials, that is, you know what I'm saying, from the documentary, Doctor's Advocate, LAX, Red Album, Jesus Piece. We could talk about the artist known as The Game from a place called Compton, California. Currently, he's just had an album called that dropped called Drillmatic. And there was a lot of controversy surrounding this release, especially around another certain big time hip hop artist called Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem. My man dropped a 10-minute diss on him, speaking on certain things and speaking on certain issues. Did you listen to it, fam?
Yeah, I listened to the whole album. I fuck with the album and as a whole. When I go through every track, I was playing it yesterday too. You feel me? West Coast stand up as well. But the diss track to me, it's not really a diss track to me. That's what I'm the first thing I'm gonna say my stance on it. To me, it's like a mockumentary or a mock of like, oh, this Eminem style. I'm gonna take it and show y'all I can do the same thing he do. Y'all like this shit? Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. Really, throughout the album, if you pay attention, all the features he take on their style. The nigga sounded like Pop Smoke on the song with Fabio.
Yeah, I heard
He
that. I
did
heard
the
that.
deep voice and everything. He was like, and he rapped, they flow. People want to say, oh, he's taking niggas. Really, what he is, I'm gonna make sure people know this. He's really just showing y'all that he's good enough where he could do everybody's style. That's what he's trying to say,
Right.
and that's his standpoint. And that's why he's saying, like, I thought Eminem was better than me, but he's like, I could really do what he doing. So how's he better than me? That's what I feel like his standpoint is on it. People taking us that he clout chasing, but it's really all I feel like stems from the Super Bowl. He feel like he should have been on there. He like, you put Eminem on there and 50 Cent. And this is nigga, they standing on the Compton courthouse. This is West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he taking it in that aspect, as well as the fact is like, okay, like everybody on there is Aftermath. He's the only big artist that wasn't on there that's from Aftermath or came from Dre.
And it's from the West Coast.
And it's from the West Coast. And like Dr. Dre only got two that he technically found himself that he can claim that I don't give him Kendrick because Kendrick was already popping when he signed him.
Yep.
It's Game and
Shout
Snoop.
out Top Dog.
Exactly. Top Dog was already doing their thing. We already knew TDE before they signed that deal. And Kendrick wasn't going to sign unless he brought the whole TDE. He told them that. So they signed all of them in the Interscope. So end of the day, it's really just Snoop and Game that Dr. Dre has really found it. And honestly, it seemed like after their first album, Dr. Dre don't have as much as a hand in their work for a while, at least a while, or it'd be very spotty. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
after like Snoop Dogg's first album, you feel me? It kind of, he didn't really have another album on Death Row, right? If I'm not mistaken, after the first one, because they already start Tupac died. They already start. Dr. Dre was already leaving before Tupac even died. He already left and all that. And Snoop was still there because he told Big Dre, "You're not taking none of the artists." So Snoop was still there, and after that, they didn't really do nothing. And then even after Death Row basically fell apart, Snoop didn't go back with Dr. Dre, nigga with No Limit.
Mm-hmm.
So he was fucking with No Limit. And Dre came back on the last album and started fucking with him, but it was only on one song, and that's that Lay Low. The nigga called at the beginning on The Last Meal, which is the last album that he did for No Limit. He did 3 albums on No Limit. Then think about it, when it started getting closer to 2000, early 2000s, Snoop had to revitalize himself. Came out with the East Siders Project on him, started being extra Crip. He wasn't never no extra Crip in the beginning of the 90s. So he really did. Snoop did a lot of shit on himself. That's what I will say. And then Game, after the first album was the same thing. So I just feel like Game feels like Dr. Dre should have put him on there if he was gonna have Eminem and 50 Cent on there, because they're not West Coast, and the only reason he could say they're on there is because they're Aftermath. He'd be like, why? And then King Trill had a good point, because he said that, hold on, he like, nigga, it would have been cool if you just had everybody on there that was advertised, but then you brought out 50 Cent upside down. Everybody like, who's that? Oh, that's 50. What the fuck? Yeah. It's like, Nigga, you should have brought out 50. Surprised them, then nigga brought out Gang. This is how we nigga could have nigga that would have been niggas went stupid. I'm sorry. That shit would just went and had him and 50 reunite
Absolutely.
like that. And Game said on this album, him and 50 never did a show.
Yeah, never did a show together. Never.
He said, imagine. I said, wow. I said, that's crazy.
That blew my mind when he said that. I was
me
like,
too.
They never did a show together with them.
I said, you think about it, they didn't. Because by the time Gang got popping, they was not cool about that documentary doing 4 times platinum. When it was by the time it was 4 times platinum, they was not fucking with each other. They weren't even fucking with each other when they shot Hate It or Love It video. You could tell they don't even look at each other when they sit next to each other in the little shit. Them niggas just do their little spots. They don't even look at each other.
Well, Gang was brought to G Unit. It's like, hey, I think we should all bring him out together. 50 was hot. And then 50 did like Gang because he heard all the mixtapes. He was like, yeah, he hard. He kind of doing the same thing I'm doing and all this and the third. And you know, the story goes is that Hate It or Love It, 50 already had a concept for that song. But he heard Gang's voice and he was like, I think he'll be great on this. And then the story, they flip it on each other. It was like, oh, I wrote this, I wrote that. No,
and that's not how it went on either one. Yeah,
that's the story. Actually goes is that 50 already had a concept of this album, a concept of this song. And Game was coming out with an album, but he needed to help format. 50 was already hot, so why not work with the hardest dude and let's go.
Like y'all under basically the same label. Let's be cool. You know what I mean? Y'all label mates basically at that point. So it's like, oh, might as well put y'all together. Y'all label mates already. Fuck it.
And I was like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 50 had the hook, but he didn't have it finished. So he was like, I just need to, and then Game was like, it need to go like this, it need to go like that. And then 50 already was on Dre beats. He was like, this is how Dre's beats cadence are. And this is how we need to carry the flow.
Right. So, and we could go back and forth on the hook. And that's why I'm like, it wouldn't have been the same if it was just 50 Cent anyway. So he could say, oh, I wrote this and this was supposed to be my song, but Hate It or Love It wasn't as big as it was if it's not both of them on there.
Absolutely. And then for the people who listen to y'all, that's how making music works. It's a collaborative, it's a team effort. Like when you have artists who can contribute, you're gonna ask them questions. Hey bro, how this sound? You think I should come with this, or I should do this, or I change this cadence, or maybe I should double up when the flow changes. It's like, all right, bro, just come here with me and maybe say this line and put it over here and mix this bar and you're making music. So I don't get if casual hip hop audience is using that as, oh, he wrote this, he wrote that for you, then I feel like you don't know hip hop. You don't know how to make music.
Right. Because Saha be basically what they say writing for a lot of niggas, but he'll say, I don't really write, I just say, say this here and here, or say this like this, or change this little word and switch it up. It's not like I'm sitting there and I wrote this whole shit for you and said, go ahead, rap that.
Yeah, right.
That's how people take it. Like they wrote every bar, every line, here, take this.
Because they run with it. But I do feel that, because like I do agree, like when I listen it, and I know the internet got their own viewpoint and their own like way they like to look at things. It's just like a lot of stands out there for Eminem, but the song is good in my opinion. The song is good. The beat, Game can rap. Like Game doesn't suck.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the song is bad for sure.
Yeah,
I would definitely say it's a good song.
Game doesn't suck. You know what I'm saying? Game doesn't suck. But what I also, he had a line referencing that you have never made a cultural impact, and everyone who's mimicked you has not made it as far as you. I can somewhat understand that, because if you look at the Eminem style, look at the clones that have coming out like Eminem. Like you can look at Hobson, you can look at Dax, you can look at Yellow Wolf, you can look at the list goes on and on. There's like it's so many other guys that comic can mimic, and it's just that white aggressive lyrical spiritual miracle
style. I'm gonna rap super fast and say a bunch of big words and shit.
Yeah, like, and they all they do is like try to downplay. Oh, I hate mainstream hip hop, and this is I'm here to save hip hop, y'all.
Oh yeah, Logic too. Logic kind of like that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Eminem for sure. You know what I'm saying? All that great, but he had another bar where he said, "I've never heard your songs in a club. I've never been in a whip and said, put on that new Eminem," and things like that. I was like,
hell no. Play that go crazy. No, just crazy. Nah. I hated that song even as a kid, nigga. That's the song I really do not like.
Turn that shit off, bro. Now, I was referenced to Eminem in the sense of his greatness was him on features. Like when he gets on, like.
Well, the Marshall Mathers LP is a classic.
Yeah.
To me. I never knew I.
Because he's not doing that style, that hippity.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not doing that shit. What he do now is what people focus on now a lot. You feel
Right.
me? So I get that. But if you go to the Eminem show and Slim Shady OP and the Marshall Mathers, he didn't have that stuff. But he started doing all that shit when he started trying to prove I'm a rap god and I can
Yeah, that
rap
shit
real
was
fast, say a
ridiculous.
bunch of words. Y'all think y'all
Yeah, like that shit's ridiculous. What are
like,
you doing?
bro,
Because this
stop
doesn't
it.
even
Slow
sound
this
good.
shit down. Slow this shit down. Slow it
So
down,
he had
please.
that reference, and the clones of him are just terrible. And that white boy rap, like, it's the reason why Mac Miller is popular and Jack Harlow is popular, because they steer so far away from that you can't put them in that bubble of white rappers that sound like this. You know what I'm saying? With that,
And let me go on the record.
what's up?
No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh, okay. So just with that style, it doesn't transfer really well into anything other than white boys rapping. And I'm not using that to degrade anybody or be derogatory. That's just the genre. Like, that's white boy rap. Like, no one can listen to that. No one can dance to it. No one can really bop to it. It's a whole bunch of words jumbled in together. Doesn't even follow the rhythm.
Right.
I don't mean the picture. Doesn't even follow the rhythm of the cadence.
Nah, go ahead.
Because you just saying fucking words together. Like, bro, I get it. You read books, but can you slow the fuck down and get on a beat that has like some type of articulation, some space? But go ahead, my fault.
Okay. No, you good. You you ever listen to like a London rapper?
Yeah.
French rappers.
Yeah.
They're basically like that, even in their own language. They rap fast as hell and just say a bunch of words.
But they kind of got their own thing going on.
They got their own thing, but I'm just saying in the aspect of the racial ethnicity. They're white.
Yeah. It's catch up.
You feel me? That's who they probably look up to. They probably like Eminem. White, he's the biggest white rapper ever.
Absolutely.
So they gonna kind of take his stick and be like, okay, maybe that'll do what we do. You know, they do got their own thing. They do that whole drill. They the reason why Pop Smoke and them got those beats and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
22G.
Feel me? They been rapping like that and doing all that on them beats. So they do got their own way, but as far as the fast rapping, like they feel like that's where they have to do, because none of them rappers out there rap slow. I never heard one of them rap slow like that. Well, I heard some French ones rap slow and shit like that, but most of them be London, especially, they rap fast. But going back to what I was gonna say about, like, you know,
I would say Dave though. Dave is an artist you probably like. He raps a little slower. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I might have seen his name somewhere though. That's what I was like when you said Dave. I'm like, okay, I think I've seen that name before. I didn't know he's from UK though. But I was gonna say, as far as when you was talking about like why people like Mac Miller, Jack, I was gonna say shit. Mac Miller is my favorite white rapper of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He's really like an artist. The songs he make is just timeless, and you will probably be able to play these forever.
Absolutely.
Forever. So that nigga's this is an artist in general. Like, that's what I was saying. Eminem is a rapper way more than he's ever been an artist, and that's a fact.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, he's had the big songs like "Fuck the World," Lil Wayne,
yeah, but
him and Rihanna. That's what I'm saying. This is
you mean Drop the World?
Drop the World. You know what I'm saying? What I mean is, like, this is how I'm referring to, at least from the hip hop fan like yourself and many other people who love hip hop and rap. This is how we've all usually been exposed to Eminem. I've had friends that played Encore and things like that, and Slim Shady and Marshall Mathers EP, the Mind of Marshall Mathers, and things like that. But when I'm looking at Eminem and his music that's being like people are adopting his music now, is usually white people, and that's no offense. It's just, and then the genres of like hip hop y'all listen to, it's corny as fuck. I just can't find enough better word for it. It's just real life corny as fuck, and I'm like, bro, all this dude is doing is rapping fast and saying everybody does this. Mainstream rap sucks. I'm trying to bring the old hip hop back. No one's really want to listen to that shit, bro. Like, other than this demographic, so that's not really gonna take you far. But if I'm somebody who's trying to say, look at it unbiasedly, like when Game does, it's not really dissing Eminem. It's just, honestly, it seems like it's been a long time brewing. It's not really dissing Eminem. It's been, because he doesn't.
And it's because of what Jay-Z said too.
Which is?
Oh, you didn't? Oh, my bad. I thought you knew. Oh, it was when it was on Drink Champs, and Noriega said he asked Jay-Z, he said, "How's the big homie? You feel me?" And he said, Jay-Z said, "Well, you said the white man wanted 50 and type shit. Nobody, you know, they didn't want Game type shit." Like, he said the white man, he put it on Eminem. Like, that's what Jay-Z did. And you notice Jay-Z, I heard Jay-Z cleared like 6 samples on Game's album.
Yeah.
He did for sure that Money Cash Ho sample with him and A$AP Rocky. I like that song too. Mm-hmm. Money Cash Clothes, but yeah. So I feel like that's another reason too. He like, oh yeah,
it's a long time brewing.
Nigga said, it's already been nigga coming up. This nigga been trading. Nigga, I'm from Compton. I put the West on my back. nigga, and you
These
want
are
to sit
facts.
there
These are
and act
facts.
like the white man gonna put the white man over me? The white man? You know,
The-
that's